Hey all, Tony Bing here. Hello and welcome back to another video from Marvel Strike Force. Now this will be a roundup of the recent developer posts we've had in regards to the Wakandan team that is coming to the game, and also we've got some images of the Wakandan team as well. These are courtesy of Tona, who was able to get them on the Discord, so I do appreciate that he was able to dig them out. So what we'll do in the video, we'll run over the different characters that make up the Wakandan team in total. Once we get them all, we'll actually have 5 in total, so it's enough for a full team. And we'll have a good look at Killmonger, who's actually appeared in game. I don't think anyone expected that to happen. Everyone was waiting for their Captain Marvel offer in the story, and instead we've had Killmonger drop in there, which is quite the surprise. But we'll cover all that in the video, and we'll start off by looking at the blog post first. As we run through this blog post as well, I'll actually put up the images we've managed to get here. Normally I just have different stock footage in the background. I figured this would look pretty nice here. Now I'll run through this. This is the first part of the blog we had. So gather up your vibranium, because Wakanda is putting its team together for the fight against Ultimus. The mighty warrior Okoye, she's been in game, at least as a character we can fight against in the Dark Dimension for quite some time. And I think she was in 1 or 2 events as well, but it's mentioning that the mighty warrior Okoye, who you may have encountered fighting alongside Ultimus in previous raids, will be making her way to the roster alongside with Shuri, so that's pretty awesome. I really did love her in the Black Panther movie. She was probably my favourite character. You have M'Baku, who I believe is actually Manape as well. If you played Marvel Heroes, Manape will be a character that you know due to running the Wakandan node all the time. You had to farm that every day really. The other character is Killmonger, and it says that will be in the next few months. So it also mentions the addition of a complete Wakandan team also means that Black Panther and Okoye will receive an update to some of their abilities, which is great because Black Panther's awesome already. And also mentions this is to align with the arrival of their teammates. We'll go in depth into this raid focused team, so it's interesting they're mentioning that there, because we've got a lot of pretty strong teams as it is in raids, and I would have expected a Wakandan team to be more about maybe Arena and Blitz, but it looks like they'll be focused in raids. It's also mentioning here, as well as the changes to Black Panther and Okoye as we get closer to release, but for now check out this little teaser below. So this is where it breaks down the different characters. So I've got some images of those characters and I've overlaid it with the text from the blog. So let's check out the next character. First character that was mentioned in the blog then is M'Baku. So it's stating that alongside Black Panther is a powerful Mystic protector M'Baku. So he's got the Mystic tag, of course, there due to that description, and he's a protector as well. Stating he can sustain a high amount of damage by using his abilities to both build charge. So I don't believe we've seen an actual protector class that works around charge. So I'm very intrigued about that, and I hope we see some new mechanics. And recently Fox Next have been making a ton of mistakes with various other aspects of the game, but I would say in regards to the heroes and the actual design of them, they've done really well. I just wish they could get the people who create the heroes to maybe become the community managers and take over other various aspects in the game, because they are knocking it out of the park. Also mentions that the whole charge mechanic will increase his block chance. It's really interesting, and you can see the graphics for him here. It really does look pretty nice. So let's check out and see who the next character is. The next character we look at here then is Okoye. So with Okoye, she's a skill controller who provides team support through her offensive attacks. You faced a version of her before in previous raids, but her new kit allows her to influence the battlefield by lowering enemy speed bars. So you can do that as it stands at the moment and clearing enemy positive effects and assists. This is something that isn't part of her kit, so what I'm going to do now is actually bring up her kit as it is in game and have a quick look at it and see if we can have a guess as to where you may see some changes based on the description we have here. So with Okoye's kit, then in the developer blog it specifically mentions about the manipulation of the speed bar and also the cleanse and assist. So let's have a quick look and see where that could maybe fit in. Now we start off with the basic, which is Spear Strike. With this you attack primary target for 200% damage and you apply defense down for 2 turns. I don't really see any reason that would change. So the defense down is a very nice aspect of a controller class. We then have Precision Strike, so you attack primary target for 220% damage apply ability block for 2 turns, chain to an additional target for 190% damage, and 50% chance to apply ability block as well. So it's quite reminiscent of Ronin's recently upgraded ultimate, which is actually a really nice skill there. And again, this is one I don't see them needing to change to fit into the kit they've talked about in the developer blog. If we look at the ultimate, it's aerial impalement. So with this you gain a fence up, attack primary target for 280% damage, and change the speed bar by 40%. So there's a speed bar manipulation that's in there already. If you look at the passive, this potentially fills in the last part of the puzzle. So the passive is called Dora Milaje. With this you gain 25% piercing damage to all attacks, and then the really important part here is you gain assist now in each Wakandan ally's turn. So when you put it in a full Wakandan team, she'll essentially work the same way that Miss Marvel would work in a full hero brawler team. Now that could be exceptionally strong if it stays as is. If they were to add the cleanse to the assists, as a development blog would actually suggest, then I don't think it would be massively overpowered if potentially it was one effect you'd remove on assist, because when you think of certain characters like Luke Cage or Juggernaut, with the amount of buffs they actually throw up on their character, even if you were getting multiple assists there, if you're only cleansing one buff at a time, I don't think it would be game breaking or anything like that. So that's where I'm going to settle with that. I could see the cleanse being added onto getting a successful assist with our Wakandan ally, and the speed bar manipulation will very likely stay on the ultimate because it's there already and it makes sense it's there. But that's Okoye. So let's check out the next character. The next character we have here is Killmonger. The model for him I'm really not sold on at all. I'm not a huge fan of the movie model either, but I think this particular one they've used, I'm just really not feeling it. The mask looks great, but the rest of the design of the costume, really not feeling it at all here. But if you read out what was in the development blog, Killmonger joins a team as a powerful skill blaster. His kit is built around critical strikes, making him a devastating force in the Wakandan front line. Killmonger will be available starting on 3/12, so that means if you're in the UK like myself and that would confuse you, it's not the 3rd of December, it's going to be the 12th of March, so it's 3 days until he's out, so get saving up your gold materials to unlock him. Now his actual full kit is available in game, so what I'll do is I'll quickly bring that up, and I've added up all the values of the skills at level 7 so you can actually see how powerful they would be maxed out. So let's have a quick look at that. So when it comes to Killmonger then, when I looked at his kit initially it didn't seem too powerful, but having added up all the damage numbers it does look like he could be really pretty insane. So we'll just look at his abilities here. We'll save the likes of the traits and the stats and so on for when it comes to his in-depth review. If you look at the basic first, which is focus fire, so I've added all this up. So with this one, when it's maxed out at level 7, you attack the primary target, that will be for 330% damage. On crit, you bonus attack for 240% damage, and then you lose charged. That's something we'll see how it works when we get to the actual passive. Otherwise you gain +1 charged up to a maximum of 5. Also with this you get some bonus attacks as well. If we scroll down a bit we can see them. If we actually go to the level 7 one, you can see on crit you bonus attack for 2 times. So if you crit with this basic you would be doing 810% damage, and maxed out level 7 you'd be doing 30% drain as well. So on a basic that's absolutely insane. Yes, you do need to crit to make the most of it, but it's unbelievable, it really is. Now let's look at the special. So this is full auto. So with this particular one you attack the primary target, maxed out it will be for 180% damage, and you'll damage them 3 times. So in total that would be 720% damage you would do with this, and on crit you gain a fence up, you lose charged, otherwise you gain +1 charged up to a maximum of 5. So we're seeing the charged aspect come into the game a lot more now. For the ultimate we have Battle Frenzy. This is another strong one. So with this you attack the primary target, maxed out at level 7 it will be for 300% damage. Again at level 7 you'll chain to 4 adjacent targets, so in the majority of fights if you're going up against 5 targets you will hit all of them. At level 7, your adjacent target damage will be 260%, and then on crit you attack all enemies, it would be for 200% damage and lose charged, otherwise you gain 1 charged up to a maximum of 5. So really interesting mechanic there. We don't see when you can actually use these skills, so that part will certainly really fill out his kit and how you want to build a rotation with him. Like, do you maybe try and get the offense up via the special first and then use the ultimate and have the offense up and get a crit and just melt the enemy team really. But the final one we'll look at here before we move on to the final character, it's his passive, which is Retribution. So with this particular one, on defense up, so it'll be interesting to see what characters that can apply that. I imagine M'Baku would be one, but with him being a mercenary, there's some other characters that have defense up you could drop in there that I'm thinking of already. But with this one, on defense up, you attack the most injured enemy, it would be for 430% damage. So this is very similar to Deadpool's Ignore Taunt, and it's exceptionally dangerous, and I always lose a character in matches against it, so this one could make him really quite potent. Now with this as well, I'll actually scroll down because there's quite a bit extra in it. So you, in raids, you actually gain, if you run him with a full Wakandan team, you would gain up to 100% chance to counterattack. That's when his passive kicks in and he gets defense up there, so you won't be getting that all the time. You have 20% drain as well, and then finally, if we look at number 3 for the skill, on kill you heal for 10% of this character's max health. So kit wise, he looks really pretty loaded. A lot of his damage is towards single targets, but it really looks like it could be pretty nice there. Now let's check out the final character. With the characters we've seen so far, then we have all the classes bar 1 filled out. We have the Blaster class, which is Killmonger, Black Panther is the Brawler, the Protector is M'Baku, Okoye is the Controller, so that leaves support, and that's where Shuri drops in, and that actually makes sense, to be honest. I'm happy with that. Now if we look at the information that came from the developer blog, so it mentions last but most definitely not least is Shuri, who brings her brilliance to the team as a tech based support. So she's got the tech tag, which is really nice. She'll provide healing support as well as charge and ability energy to other Wakandan allies. If we think back to M'Baku's kit, it mentioned the fact that I believe his defense could be built around charge, and it looks like she could generate it for him, so that's really interesting. Now also, Shuri will be the keystone member of Wakanda, protecting and feeding the abilities of her teammates. Her influence is so great that Shuri will be the next legendary character unlock. We'll release requirements for her legendary event in a future blog. Now, as mentioned already, I absolutely loved Shuri in the Black Panther movie, and she was in actually Infinity War as well, and she was, again, probably my favourite character in the Black Panther movie. I thought she was absolutely awesome. Saying all that though, do I believe she should be a legendary character? I'm not quite sure about that, because if you look at the current legendary characters we have, the likes of Star-Lord, Magneto and Nick Fury and Iron Man, is Shuri up with them? I'm really not sure, her performance in Black Panther aside. Now, because she will be a legendary character, that means I'm pretty certain, unless they break the actual form they've used so far, that we'll need 5 characters at 5 star to unlock her at 5 star, and then it works its way up all the way to 7 star. So what actual traits will they potentially restrict it to? Because they will restrict it. I don't see it being something like Avengers or Tech, as I've seen some people say, because that means she would essentially be a free unlock for the vast majority of the players, and that's not going to happen for a legendary character. So looking at the traits that are available in the game, and one that's been introduced recently, I imagine it could be a combination of Wakandan and also military, and that's why they're being a bit stingy in regards to adding the military tag to the likes of Punisher, because it would make it too easy to unlock Shuri. Now if that was the case, the military characters we have are Captain America, Winter Soldier and War Machine. So the 2 farmable ones there are Captain America and Winter Soldier. When we look at the Wakandan tag, the only one we'll have would be Black Panther. So that means that potentially, in order to unlock her, you may have to farm another 2 Wakandan characters. And for me, that sounds about right. I reckon they might make one of the Wakandan characters nice and easy to actually get, and the other ones maybe locked behind premium orbs or locked behind blitz, such as that as well. But that's just my speculation. That's what I'm willing to hedge my bets on, though, will actually be the unlock requirements for her. So quite a lot to cover tonight. It was certainly an interesting video when it came out of the blue. I'm pretty pumped for the Wakandan team. It's another raid team we have, and we're almost getting too many of them now after only having one real team for so long. So it is nice to see that. Hopefully we'll get another nice arena team at some point. Maybe an arena defense team could be quite fun. So let me know in the comments below anyway what you think of the update in regards to Wakandan characters and how potentially we'll be looking to unlock Shuri. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.